communities, but there is an issue of violence, of looting, of rioting.
Yes, but why are you linking it to black people?
Well, that's
that's the issue.
That's the issue. The imagery is what becomes very problematic.
You can you can sing about you know. There's a lot wrong here with this. This is a man who saw what happens when someone is out of control with their guns.
Yeah,
he's someone he was performing in Vegas, and
Black people commit violent crimes at several times the rate of white people. You know, again, man, we have to understand that. We have to be honest about that. So again, you know, right now, again, black people are 12.6% of the population. And, you know, again, like I think 53% of all violent crime is committed by black people, even though they're, 12.6%. So again, we have to truly understand that. And also, the majority of that is committed by black men, which again is like 6%. So again, we truly have to be honest about this. And we have to really understand you're going to see images more of black people robbing and burning stuff down, doing whatever. Why? Because they're doing it more.
There's no reason to separate big city people from small town people. That to me is the divisive part of this song. I mean, it's a deplorable song and it's annoying. Got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say one day they're going to round up. Well, that S might fly in the city. Good luck. It's very divisive and provocative. But I defend his right to do this video.
Absolutely.
Because they can't censor me, they shouldn't censor him either. But
divisive? Really? You're saying he's divisive? I think you need to look at the left, man. I think you need to look at yourself. Look in the mirror.
A lot of people don't leave those towns. I understood the community part. The problem is you can never see how far you make it down the road without knowing the history of this country. And it wasn't just Jason Aldean, because he didn't write the song, he did perform it. But there's a lot of checks and balances when you're putting out an album, you're gonna be touring, you're gonna be performing it. I also say shame on every person that could have caught it along the way to say there are problems here with this song. And maybe the biggest thing he should do right now is listen. When you want empathy, like even Gretchen, the governor said, well, people need to just listen. They're coming after him. If you want people to empathize with your side, or your take or your interpretation, you need to stop, and he should open his ears, because maybe he doesn't consciously realize why a lot of people are not okay with this song.
Man, we gotta be honest, man. The left, they think everything is about feelings, man, empathy, again, respect, whatever, man. It's not about that. It's about getting people to listen so they can open up their eyes and see what's happening. And that is what I believe is saying. Again, it's not about feelings. It's not empathy. He's not trying to get people to feel whatever he's feeling. That's not what he's doing, man. He's trying to get people to open up their eyes.
I'm actually not going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And I'm pleased that you are, and I'm pleased that you are.
You do agree that he should be allowed to say whatever he wants.
Because as a lawyer, when I put my legal hat on, I don't believe in censorship. However, this man is from Macon, Georgia. My father's from Augusta, Georgia, and Macon, Georgia. I spent many summers there. Yeah, both. I spent many summers there. It is one of the most racist places in this country. So don't tell me that he knew nothing about what that imagery meant and what he. So I don't give him the benefit.
But I'm saying, along with him, more people should also be held accountable.
The other thing is that what was evoked for me, which was, you're not going to get out of this town, are those sundown
don't let the sun
areas
go down on your ass.
Because there were times when black people, my mother's in the audience today, thank you for coming. And my mother and father, because they were an interracial couple, were run out of South Carolina by the KKK. And my father is still scarred from that experience, and you are still scarred from that experience. So
we're all still scarred from that experience.
So don't tell me that not only was he aware of what he was doing by using that imagery, he embraces that imagery. And unfortunately, this became the #1 song on US iTunes. We have a problem in this country about race, and the biggest problem is we refuse to admit that it exists.
Well, don't you think that a lot...
And here's the thing. Right now, I do agree there's a problem with racism, so to speak. And I believe that's the other way around. Right now, the worst problem is the other way around. And number two, I grew up in the South. I grew up between Atlanta, Georgia, and upstate South Carolina. And I will say that in my lifetime, and I'm not much younger than what you are, and in my lifetime, I did not see that when I was a child in the South. Not at all. Now, I'm not saying there wasn't racism back in the 50s and 60s and 50s and 40s and, beyond. I'm not saying that. But again, I grew up in the South, and all my years in the South, I did not see that. Again, I never saw the KKK out there doing whatever. I mean, again, that wasn't a thing. That was not a thing. I mean, again, even 40 years ago, man, that wasn't a thing. That wasn't a thing. And, I'm not saying at one time that didn't exist. I understand that, things like the KKK in Stone Mountain, Georgia. I get that. But again, man, we're not talking about any time recently. And I hate that your mother and father got ran out of South Carolina. I hate that. If again, and I don't want to doubt you too much, but if that truly happened, the way you said it happened, I don't know. And again, man, I'll take your word for it. But I again, in my lifetime, I haven't seen that. As a matter of fact, every crime that me and my family have been victims of have been done by blacks, not by whites. Again, everything down to, my house being broken into, my dad's car being stolen, my car being stolen, again, my wife being followed home, every single one of them. And the list goes on and on. But every single one of them were done by black people. Not one was done by white. Not one. So again, man, you're sitting there saying that they ran your mother and your father out of the... I'm sorry to hear that. If that's true, I'm sorry to hear that. I really am. But the fact of the matter is, there's much more problems, especially now, the other way around. And that is something we truly got to be honest about. So again, man, I hate that happened to you. If indeed it did, I hate that happened. But it is much more of a problem the other way around. And then again, you're talking about Jason Aldean, that he knew what the imagery was trying to portray. No, I don't think he was trying to portray anything except what's going on, the actual truth of what is happening. And again, if those images are offensive to you, then sorry, but they're truthful, they're honest. And again, man, he's not trying to portray one of lynching black people. That is the most ridiculous thing. Again, if you go to the South, man, if you go to Atlanta or anywhere, be aware of certain areas. And guess what? They're not white. And I hate to say that way, but they're not. They're not white. Again, I still live in the South now. And majority of the areas that are questionable, that are very high crime areas, they're not. They're not white. So again, man, we have got to be honest about that. We have got to be honest about the fact that you are much more likely as a white person to be attacked by a black person than a black person is to be attacked by a white person. That is cold, hard facts. As a matter of fact, I think 2018, according to the DOJ, it was 9 times the rate. 9 times. So again, you were 9 times more likely to be attacked if you were white, to be attacked by a black person, than a black person to be attacked by a white person. Again, we have to understand what it is. We have to understand what the actual numbers on things. But hey guys, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
You son of a